And now Yasser Ali has released this 3-minute video that we're going to watch of Steven Crowder, what I would say is being really kind of abusive to his wife. Emotionally abusive, not physically abusive. Now, I'm of a couple minds about this, and I will probably be repeating this a couple times on this stream because I'm sure I'm going to have fans of both Steven Crowder and Candace Owens and people who are just in between the two and don't really care. I'm not on anyone's side. Whoever wins in this little fight makes no difference to me. I personally think that neither of them are probably heroes. And I don't think that what happened in this video was good. But I also want to present a different perspective here. This is a 3-minute video. We don't know what happened before the video started. We don't know what happened after the video started. I've been married for 12 years. Okay? I can tell you, and I love my husband very much, and I will never leave my husband. And you would literally have to drag me away kicking and screaming. I would never leave my husband. And I don't think he'd leave me either. I'm pretty sure. He seems to like me a lot. So, my husband and I have absolutely gotten in fights like this. And we have both, sometimes sober, sometimes when we've had a little too much to drink. And this hasn't happened recently, I should say. I'm just trying to present some more context to people who aren't married and don't know what that type of dynamic is. My husband and I have had moments where we've gotten into fights that look a lot like this, where things that were said from both parties that weren't really meant, but that were said to be really hurtful at the time because we ourselves were feeling hurt by something that the other person did, okay? In any long-term relationship, in any marriage especially, you are going to have moments where you get in really bad fights. And I think that, if you can work through those fights, that is a reflection of the strength of the relationship. And some people can work through them and some people can't. I have been very lucky that my husband and I have been able to work through the very rare instances in our marriage where we have had really bad fights and we have both said extremely hurtful things and we have both said things that we didn't mean with the specific purpose of hurting the other person because we were hurt and that's what happens. And so I would never want a 3-minute segment of one of those fights to be leaked onto the internet and to have that encapsulate the full breadth of my marriage. Because I actually think the more important thing in my marriage is that we have both been able to work through those situations. All right. So we don't know what happened before this. We don't know what happened after this. I also have to say that it is a little bit suspicious to me that this video was leaked to Yasser Ali, who is an extreme leftist. Why is Yasser Ali releasing this video? Not exactly a fan of Steven Crowder. Why was this leaked to Candace Owens, who hates Steven Crowder more than anyone on the planet? And the people, Hillary Crowder and Hillary Crowder's family, who chose to leak the video and the statement to a renowned leftist of Yasser Ali and to Candace Owens, who hates Steven Crowder more than anyone on the planet, you're telling me that those are the two reputable, credible journalists who obviously have no bias in the situation at all and would never do anything that was unethical to smear an extremely popular conservative commentator that they don't like. It all seems a little too perfect to me. And I say that also saying that I don't like what I see Steven Crowder do in this video. I don't like his specific actions because Hillary Crowder is obviously terrified in this video. And he just keeps going and going and going and going. And it is also pretty obvious to me that Steven Crowder has massive control issues. And I say that not just because of this video, but also because of this video that was released with Dave Landau talking about the contract. And so I think that Steven Crowder's control issues probably ended up getting the better of him in this specific circumstance. Now, that doesn't mean that this type of scenario was an exception to an otherwise kind of normal marriage, okay? Steven Crowder can have control issues, and Steven Crowder can also still not be a 100%, you know, awful, awful, awful husband. Like, you can be a good husband and have control issues. A lot of people do. But I do think that what I saw in this video was not only emotionally abusive, even if it was only for a very short period of time, and it was the exception, and he never usually does stuff like this. It was still emotionally abusive, and it still exhibited a very strong tendency towards control that I think is a little extreme, and that makes me nervous. And at the same time, there can be other perspectives that we don't know what happened before this, and we don't know what happened after this. So I know I just didn't make any side happy with what I just said, because both sides are looking for me to either completely denounce Steven or completely denounce Candace Owens for her sticking her nose in this and drumming up trouble where she's not fucking where she doesn't fucking belong. Like, I know both people, like I'm not going to be pleasing anyone because we don't know. All we have is the information right in front of us. And this is all we can judge on. And the scenario, and I promise I'm going to shut up in a minute and we're going to watch the video and we're going to talk about it. But the scenario like that it is a perfectly plausible scenario that there are no heroes in this circumstance, that both Steven Crowder fucked up really badly and is a horrible person, and that Candace Owens fucked up really badly and isn't a horrible person. Both those things can be true, okay? I'm not giving any blood here tonight. My regular viewers will tell you that even if I don't personally like someone, if I think that they're right, then I will say that they're right. If I think that they're wrong, then I will say that they're wrong. My personal feelings does not dictate how I judge situations. All right? I think that's enough of a preamble. Guys, please mount that like button, not because you like the content that we're talking about tonight, but because when you mount that like button, you tell YouTube to serve this video to more people so that more friends can come and join us and we can have a nice nuanced discussion and chill time about what's going on. Thank you guys for spending some time with me tonight. Let's watch this here video. Oh, wait. We got hang on, King Peter of the chat coming in with a super chat. Thank you, Peter. I heard this is from June 2021. Yes, that is true. That would have been when Steven's lung was collapsed and he would have surgery the next month. Listen to him mention medicine and days planned to the second. Yeah, so this is a really good point, Peter, because this video is from June 2021. And I'll trust your timing on that. I don't know. Some Steven Crowder fans will be able to tell us if that was the time when Steven's lung was collapsed and he was going to have surgery. And so he mentions medicine, and there might have been a reason that, maybe days need to be planned to the second. Okay, fine. Why doesn't Hillary Crowder have her own car? Let's talk about that after. Okay, let's watch the video.
I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary of abusive and cruel. You were not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
There's no groceries. I do have
Steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's not unreasonable, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes, other than that, receive love. No, other than that, no, you're not taking the car. You're not taking the car. You are not.
Then I will ask them to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not about Steven.
Get an Uber.
Okay, Steven, I can't.
feeling some constraints.
Steven.
Like I can't
Steven.
go. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're gonna take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either.
See,
Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back when I'm back?
Steven.
The only way out of it is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it, or we're at an impasse.
We are at an impasse.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline or respect.
Steven.
Yeah. There you go. You throw your hand, you give up so easily.
I don't give up,
Hillary,
Steven.
you give up so easily. I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. You said, then we're at an impasse.
Steven, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you, but Steven, your abuse is sick. Your abuse
Watch it.
is sick.
Watch it. Fucking watch it.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. We need to just stop engaging for a little bit. Okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you. And the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, you just be disciplined about it. You go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself. That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's disingenuous. Hillary, you're right. We're at an impasse. Become someone, listen to me, day in and day out, worthy of a wife. No, not as a wife. I didn't say as a wife. Hillary, come on now.
I'm not gonna engage. I'm not gonna engage anymore. I'm gonna go. I'll get text me what you need. I'll get you what you need. I love you. I'm committed to you.
Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not gonna.
Are you committed enough to do those things? You're not committed to anything. You're not committed to anything. You just said I love you. I'm committed to it. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm good.
Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to get the medication the dogs? No, you take Betty.
Sin Shadowland points out people are cranky and nasty when they're sick. I think that there could be something to that, Sin, and I appreciate that. So that's a rather intense video. I wonder in the chat if people could let me know how they feel about watching that. And I'm still processing, honestly. Heather says, it sounds like he's afraid to be alone. I think that that's a really, that I actually hadn't thought about that, Heather. So that's actually a really great point. I think it is sad. I think it is sad. Yeah, I think this is not for public consumption. And I think it's really gross that this got released. And you know what? I even, like, as I was eating my dinner, I was like, do you even want to cover this? Do you even want to cover this? And I said, yes, I'll cover it because I think I'm going to give one of the most nuanced takes on this entire platform about it. And, you know, someone needs to do it because everyone's going to be covering it. So mixed feelings for Yasmin. Shannon says that Steven's a fucking psycho. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe. I do think there are control issues there. I really do. There are some concerning things, but I think they're both scared. I think that that could be a good interpretation. Emo Dante says that was upsetting to watch. It is very upsetting to watch. I agree with you, Emo Dante. Got a couple other super chats. Thank you guys. Jen says the lack of a second car is super disturbing. Besides just the manipulative vocabulary, it comes off as he thinks he's trapped. Yeah, I mean, why doesn't she have a car? Because that's something that strikes me as very odd. Why doesn't Hillary Crowder have a car? Because it sounds like they're sharing one. There is absolutely no need. They live in Austin, Texas. You're telling me they only have one car? That doesn't make sense. There's like, why wouldn't she have her own? Why would it matter at all if she left? Why wouldn't she have her own car? And he kept saying, you're taking the car, the car, the car. Like, don't they have another one? Don't they have several? I mean, that to me, if she doesn't have a car of her own, that's something I would like an answer to, because like that seems like a massive control issue. Not that we are deserving of an answer because this is none of our effing business, but if I got to ask questions, that would be a question I would ask. Emphasize says, how many times has she threatened to leave him as a power play? I have no idea, Emphasize, and I wouldn't make the assumption that she's threatened to leave him at all. I think it's pretty obvious to me that she's scared in that video. That is a bizarre way to talk to your spouse. Well, I again, and I know I've had some more people join since then. Is that a really bad way to talk to your spouse? Absolutely. It's not good. However, as someone who's been married for 12 years, I know enough to know that if you took a 3-minute chunk of an argument that I've had with my husband and took it out of context, it could look like that, both in stuff that he's said to me and in stuff that I've said to him. And you don't know what happened before the video. You don't know what happened after the video. And like, we just don't know. And so I think that's one of the things that really bothers me is I think, and I saw in the chat earlier, like a lot of married couples can understand what they're seeing here because we ourselves have also done it. So I don't think that that's good.